I hate the word networking. Get this, Cambridge Dictionary describes it as the process of meeting and talking to a lot of people, especially in order to get information that can benefit you. Am I the only one who finds that fake and transactional? And countless scientific studies showcase that we actually associate the word networking with feeling dirty. And to many, networking really does mean forcing connections for your own personal gain. But how about if we flipped it? How about instead of forcing connections, we are forming real, genuine connections and building authentic relationships that last us a lifetime. Hey, my name is Kajol, and today we are covering a step-by-step guide on how you should network the right way. We all have someone who we feel is just connected to every single person that we know. And honestly, sometimes I envy them. Sometimes I'm just like, how can networking come so easy for so many people? Whereas for me, and maybe for you, we can feel like really socially awkward and those weirdos in the corner trying to make small talk. Problem is, networking really does play a huge role in your professional career and in terms of giving you the opportunities at work that you really need. And I cannot deny how important networking has actually played a role in my career. Have you ever heard the saying, it's not just what you know, but also who you know? Yep, it's true. And at work, we have this social credit, this social status, social capital associated to us. And networking plays a major role in that, and it actually influences it. So the higher your social credit, the more likely you are to get noticed, to get promoted, and to jump onto opportunities that you want to at work. Have you ever heard this Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. So don't wait to build your network and cultivate it when you need it. Start doing it now, and the first thing that you can do is actually identify simply who you want to get in touch with. Don't be that person who just ticks off every single person on their list. Now, people aren't groceries that you can just pick up every single one that you can see. Be strategic by focusing your efforts and quality over quantity, people. The magic number of relationships that a human can maintain is actually 150. And if you've heard of the Pareto law, it basically says that 80% of your results come from only 20% of your actions. Who are the 20% of people that you need to connect with? And it might be someone who's a little bit more senior than you, someone who joined at the same time as you, but find people that you will share same values or same passion with, or maybe can help you achieve your goal. And let's be real now, if you try to maintain 150 connections, you probably will just meet them once and forget about them, and that's not an impression you want to leave. And I'll speak about maintaining your network a little bit towards the end of the video. By the way, networking isn't just about making new friendships, it's also about connecting with your existing one. So these may be weak ties that you've not really spoken to in a long time, and we call them dormant ties. If you see it the way that I try to, these are just friends that you've not connected with for a very long time. And trust me, it's probably easier to reach out to them if you're feeling a little bit more uncomfortable instead of reaching out with someone completely new. Once you decide who you want to get in touch with, you actually need to meet them. Now, apart from LinkedIn, there are other 3 different ways that you can do this. Firstly, simply just emailing someone and trying to get them to meet you for a coffee or a more formal meeting. Secondly is meeting someone through society events, through socials, through industry events and so forth. And I think this is one of the best ways to meet someone, and that's purely because you already know that you share a common interest with that individual. And thirdly, if you're at work, definitely try to do some practice development work, business development work, side extracurricular activities with individuals, because you can showcase your talent and your performance when you're working on something with them. By the way, if you're cold emailing someone, you want to make sure you do these 3 things. Firstly, write down your goal. What do you want to learn from them? Why do you want to meet them? And the best people who I've seen do this have actually linked it to a higher purpose, which is not centered on themselves, but on helping others. And that could be, for instance, helping to remove racial biases in the workplace. The second thing is write down your ask. How can they help you? And thirdly, introduce yourself. And a lot of us forget to do this. I actually try to write down 3 key achievements that I've made to convince that individual that actually I'm worth you meeting me. Now make sure you tailor that for each individual that you meet, because something may be more relevant to someone from the retail industry compared to the financial industry, for instance. Now, awesome, you found someone and they've agreed to meet. Now, when you go in the back of your mind, you need to make sure you have your ask on how they can help you. But you want to focus that whole conversation on building a deep, meaningful connection with that individual. And to translate, that is that glue that keeps that relationship strong. So how do I do this? Do I hear you ask? And simply it is by giving and not getting. And actually, give first and receive later. Research shows that givers actually have much more of a higher social credit at work. And actually, they also have a much more stronger reputation. Don't forget, people are going to question, why should I keep that individual in my network? What value can they offer me? It could be as simple as offering your opinion on something, could be maybe offloading some work from their plate, or it could even be helping them solve a problem. It's not about it's about us, and it's not about getting, it's about giving. So connect over something deeper than self-interest and make sure there is a value exchange over a two-way dialogue. I actually find the best conversations that I have is either when we're sharing a same set of values or passion, or when we're having a really open, honest, or vulnerable conversation with someone. And don't forget, you don't always have to connect over work. It could be a shared passion for football, for instance. But I would say is that if you're looking to build an expertise in something and that individual has it, they are more likely to connect with you. So even if you don't have that expertise yet, and let's say you want to get automotive expertise, but just by voicing your passion, voicing your love for it, will get that individual to remember you when you're next looking to break into the automotive industry, for instance. Don't forget, you really want to come across as really authentic, and do remember, it's not about you, it's about the other individual. Last but not least is don't be a stranger. And it was the author of Never Eat Alone, Keith Ferrazzi, who actually said that relationships aren't like cake, they're like muscles. Cake disappears over time, but muscles get stronger every single time that you use it. And just like building muscles, relationships takes time. It's not like you're going to hit the gym and hit the weights one day and the next day you end up the Hulk. Relationships don't work like that. So you need to really maintain your network. Make sure you build networks for the long term. It's not a use once and disappear off the side of the face of the earth type of situation. Learn what your limit is, learn how many connections that you can maintain at a given time, and make sure you check in with them. And don't forget that all relationships don't need to be equal. You don't need to group every single individual in one bucket. You need to understand who are your stronger ties that you maybe feel more deeper connection with, or maybe who could be more of a use to you. And you need to understand who your weaker ties are, individuals who maybe can help you get promoted or get you noticed at work. And you need to dedicate the right amount of time to each of those. So maybe more time to your stronger connections, and maybe less time to your weaker connections. And that could be once every couple of months, once every 6 months. Is up to you. Who you know will kind of depend on what you know today. And a good networker isn't running a sprint, they're running a marathon. And before I leave you, here's one more tip from me. Shift the mindset of networking from being a chore to an opportunity to learn, because that's the only way that you can build your skills and build your knowledge. And actually you feel much more comfortable reaching out to people and have a bit more courage when you have that mindset. Take your time, happy networking, and that's it from me this week. Please don't forget to hit the like button, and if you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.